It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker, Mr. Max Mozgovoy, a renowned expert in AI and machine learning with a specialization in CRM applications. With more than 20 years of global experience, our speaker is currently based in the Netherlands, contributing to the international AI landscape. Our speaker holds an MBA with honors and a master's degree in applied mathematics and physics. Demonstrating a strong academic foundation, his illustrious career spans pivotal role in leading international companies making significant contributions to the field. At segment value, our speaker provides services to a diverse range of clients, achieving notable success in the strategic development of AI and CRM solutions. His impact extends beyond segment value, having held roles at 11 international companies, including Go Student, Gamehouse, Wargaming, and others. In these roles, he has led various projects orchestrating the implementation of advanced machine learning, business intelligence, and CRM systems. His leadership and expertise have been instrumental in driving innovation and operational efficiency in these organizations. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to our distinguished speaker, Mr. Max Moscow.
Hey, I'm really glad to meet you all. Thanks a lot for inviting me. It's a real pleasure to be here and actually talk a bit about applications and perspective of artificial intelligence and sales and customer relationship management. So like that's a super hot topic. So I will be happy to actually to present about that. So yeah, I was already introduced, I have like more than 20 years of experience of working in different companies like Go Student, Gamehouse, Wargaming, and some others, working on the AI, machine learning, CRM technologies implementation, and so on. And today I wanted to talk about the new era of AI, which we also, let's say experiencing right now. You know that the ChatGPT actually reached 1 million users in 5 days, which is quite a success. It is much more, prominent compared to Instagram and Spotify, but it's also an indication on how the technology is actually becoming so rapid and so on. So it's super nice. So talking about the hype cycle for artificial intelligence, there is a huge hype, of course, about the AI, and we see the generative AI is on top. So we can see like it's in the peak of the expectations, and everyone is talking about that, and everyone is trying to implement some business processes with the generative AI. That is super important. What I can tell you that there are more than 40 different language models are available now, and there are like a huge pipeline of development or new models is actually ready, and everyone is developing some kind of models or fine-tuning the existing models. That makes total sense. Talking about the automation potential, there is like a huge value of the jobs that will be potentially automated. So Gartner is saying that up to 70% of transaction will be really automated from 30% today. So like it will be like a huge portion of the process, or even the whole jobs that will be automated by the new technologies, but new AI. That's really like a reality right now. Which particular industries will be impacted? I would say there are like a few industries like banking, insurance, and software, on top of the potential for the automatization. So like you can see that there is more than half of different processes in banking probably is the subject for the high automation, and that's really like really giving us the clue about how the whole set of different processes of managing the customers, sales, some different customer interactions, it can be really automated with the existing AI. So talking about what the customer agents can do right now, we can say that the customer can recognize, understand, and synthesize speech in various languages. We can see how the LLM models can maintain a coherent dialogue with the client on a given topic, and we can see that the emotional background the reaction of to the emotional background when communicating is also possible. So it's like really having a good dialogue with the customer. So that's really important. Also, it is possible to integrate with different CRM and back office systems and create a list of tasks to achieve the goal and to complete them. So these are the key functionality that it is available, and you can use it right away. One thing that you can check, you can just use this video, like Tesla bot is calling to the agent and to the actual customer and trying to sell the car, and that's quite an interesting example. So basically, it's already in the process. So what will be AI agents? What they can do in 2-3 years? Let's say in the service and the CRM, I think that it will be like a huge portion of the large language models and the customer agents. They consider the context of past and present customer experiences. So like they can remember all the historical interactions. They also can consider the history of relationship with each client. So that is most probable that they can really track all the history. They can perform the complex tasks on behalf of the client and evaluate the success of problem solving at every step. And of course, they can understand the need for escalation. So basically, they can see whether the escalation to the actual person is needed, and then they can, for example, like transfer the call or transfer it to the huge human agent. So talking about the generative pre-trained transformer application in the customer relationship management and customer experience management, I will make a few examples. We've created this survey, which basically we've checked the different potential for automatization for different business processes. So at the first stage, we have identified the different potential use cases for the AI. Then we have estimated the commercial potential variation. And then we have estimated the applicability to a business. So whether this particular technology is applicable to a business or not. So of 15 applications potentially covering commercially viable use cases were identified. I will probably focus on the key ones. So these are the applications for automated customer support. So AI can create something like a dialogue with the customer and actually can track what the customer is needed, and then the AI can help to solve the particular problem. Also, it is possible to do the sentiment analysis to identify the sentiment in different channels, what feedback customers are writing, and how they can identify the customer needs and so on. So like basically can identify areas for improvement for the products and services. What they also can do, they can do the customer profile segmentation and profiling, like create something like some segmentation. So the segmentation can improve the marketing and sales by targeting the particular segment with some individual offers. that is also super valuable use cases for the LLMs. Another use case is to do the campaign management automation. So all the different marketing channel and different marketing communications can be automated with the large language model, and then they can just provide a particular kind of connection to the channel, and then they can send out particular messages and the interesting, let's say, offers that can potentially interest the customer. The next one is the predictive analytics, which is also really important. So the predictive analytics can help businesses improve their decision making because we can predict the actual customer behavior. And of course, the customer retention is a very important thing too, because actually we can retain the customers before they actually leave the business, and that is how we can really improve the business value of the customer base. Also, it can help with the sales automation. So it can provide the sales automation logic and automate the actual process of selling some particular goods. So the LLM can really help in this sense to actually build these processes and helping achieve the sales goals. The lead scoring is really important as well. So it can prioritize the sales leads and identify the right leads compared to the non-valuable leads. So like the sales team can focus on the right leads and then achieve better conversion and better success. There are a few other interesting topics like customer feedback analysis, like email automation, social media monitoring, and others. I won't be really digging into very details about that, just not to actually, I don't want to make it really complex and lengthy. So like you can read it in the presentation. So basically these are the also super valuable cases. So talking about the actual applicability of the cases, and from what we've heard from the experts, we know that the automated customer support and sales automations are the most important and most valuable cases for the business. And that means that they see a potential to actually reach the business goals with AI, with these automated customer supports and the automating sales. So it's super important. So then I wanted to talk about the Go Student company. What we did there, we actually selected the kind of the logic to automate the whole customer service there. So we've identified the right LLM models. We have created several instances of the model based on the operations. We fine-tuned the instance on the data on each data type. Also, we've analyzed the intention of the customer, and we wanted to implement the routing to the relevant model. We wanted to integrate it with the backend and use the human feedback from testing to fine-tune the actual models. And then after that, we've deployed and monitored the results, and it was quite a huge deal. So the actual percentage of the customer requests performed by the AI, it was like a huge, let's say, percentage. So like you can see from 50% to 75%, that is real good share of the different inquiries made by actual users. And for some of them, they are really like up to 80% of deflection rate. So like 80% of the customer queries were solved by the AI. So it's huge. And that's how it looks like. So you can talk to actual chatbot, and then it can give you the particular clue about how to solve your problem, how to solve your tasks. It's really easy. It is really kind of clear and straightforward how to do that. Another question is some startup called Coli AI that is basically focusing on optimization of the sales process. It is also a really interesting case. So they can launch the actual customer service agent. They can speak with the users and actually make the actual let's say can make actual inquiries and respond to the actual inquiries of the customers. So yeah, they have like a quite clear drag and drop interface and do all that stuff. But there are still some interesting still some problems connected to the LLMs. So first of all, it's hallucinations. The secondly, it's understanding the common sense. So there are some problems with that. Ethics and bias, understanding the context of the situation, full emotional interaction, and work in the narrow subject areas. So like these are the key points that we can have some problems still with the AI implementation. So actually the problem is to identify how to fight with these particular cases with these problems. So right now, AI works like a student in the school when he doesn't know the answer. He just tries to invent something really close or really similar to what the answer could be, and that is how the actual response would look like. And this response is really far from actual accurate response. So like that is why it calls like hallucination. So here is an example of the hallucination. So like what are 5 popular scientific papers that prove that the world is flat? And the actual AI chatbot created something like a list, which is really far from being truthful, and that's a completely misleading list. So we all know that is basically the not correct information. Or another story I wanted to tell. So like it's a lack of understanding, the common sense understanding of the model, because it's really difficult for the models to know some basic information about our world when it is not available in the training data. So here is an example. So we can ask the model a question: if the 5 t-shirts take 4 hours to dry, how long will it take 20 t-shirts to dry? And that's interesting question, because the model is actually saying that you will need like 16 hours to dry the 5 t-shirts. It's basically it's not 20 t-shirts, so it's basically not correct. It doesn't make sense. Another question is about ethics and bias. The biased situation, probably heard about the Google Gemini. Lately, some time ago, they've introduced the new model that tries to actually generate some pictures based on their understanding on how they should be aligned. And this alignment was completely wrong. For example, if they ask something like how the please paint the actual Nazi soldier, and somehow this model paints the actual people from African origin, and that's completely like a failure of in terms of like a bias, and it's not acceptable at all. So like for me, that's a good example on how the model can really lack the actual understanding of ethics and bias and so on. Or another example: why are women emotional? So the answer is women are more emotional than men because they have higher levels of estrogen hormone, or which is strange. Why are men better at math? Also interesting story. So like they have great logical reasoning and problem solving abilities, which is also strange. So like I don't think that is really like truthful statement. So another thing is basically the models are lacking is they lack fully understanding the context. So for example, like I have a user asks, I have some problems with my iPhone. Um, and when the user tries to explain what was the problem, but the actual questions were really not that straightforward and really misleading and confusing. So that is also the actual kind of bad story on the AI. And the next one is the emotional response, which is could be real like a challenge for the models. When the models say, "Okay, I just lost my job and feel really bad. Can you say a few words of comfort and encouragement?" And it's just a generic response. So I'm sorry to hear that, and so on. So like, it's not like a real person would say with some deep understanding of human character and so that's why it is lacking this emotional response, I believe. And finally, I can tell you that the some problems are really the lacking of information in the narrow context. So, for example, we don't know what is the actual situation in this particular area, and therefore the model can really don't know the actual answers, and they try to invent something close to that, but that is not true. So what I believe will be the next steps for the application of large language models and generative AI. I think the first line service support tasks will be like key ones. The information and reference service will be also one of the key cool, interesting examples. So you can ask the model, and the model can answer all required information, especially when it was trained on your particular data. It is also helpful in ordering some goods or services, or dispatching service, or providing like technical support for standard issues, or that's kind of that would be a real good use cases for the AI, which we will see in the future. So what is the place of people in this process? I believe the person role transforms from the like a simple contact center agent to the customer relationship expert who really can solve the complex and really non-standard problems. He can really deeply understand the technical issues and has some freedom to make decisions and meet client needs, can show the empathy, and can use AI as the support and not as the main kind of collaborator. So talking about the actual AI transformation process in your organization, I think that it is really important to make a step-by-step plan on how to prepare to this kind of technological revolution. So what you need to do, you need to determine the place of AI in your company strategy and how all these technologies can be integrated in the current processes. Then you will need to identify the potential of this automation and transforming the human work in your company. You need to identify professions and kind of roles in your company that will be most impacted by the AI, and start preparing for that. Also, you need to create a business case which will help to calculate the commercial benefits and identifying priorities for the implementation. Generate data for training models or fine-tuning the models if you want to use like something like a fine-tuned version of the model. That is also important. And then you need to create a plan for implementing the key AI initiative. That is the final step that you need to implement. So yeah, I would like to thank you all, and don't be afraid of AI. If you need any information or help with the AI implementation or building the strategy, and just ping me in LinkedIn or wherever you like, and I will be helping you to basically in this case, and will be helping you with developing the strategy and implementation of the AI in different use cases. Thanks a lot, and I will be glad to answer any questions.